There's certain rules to Halloween, and if broken, he'll be there to punish those who don't follow. Happy Halloween, everyone! It's your VFF Snowy Oreo 663 here, right now, and for the grand finale and day 31 of the Scare-A-Thon, we've got a full celebration of the holiday with Trick or Treat from 2007. There's plenty of films that just take in the vibe of a certain holiday and make it their own. Think about all the Christmas movies that come on every year. But with Halloween, sure, you've got your classic family affairs in the horror category in general, but to me, this is the one. This is the movie that takes everything great about the holiday and blends it into one perfect fear fest. Rated R, of course. Those kids are in the other room watching Halloween Town, okay? This one will also be a little hard to talk about since it's an anthology film, but unlike stories such as VHS and whatnot, all the stories here are interlocked, cutting back and forth to each other. So the quick synopsis is going to be very brief so I can get into the full summary. Are you ready? Let's go. Warren Valley, Ohio is a town that goes fucking ham on Halloween. Every aspect of it is treated like a celebration. However, of course, there are rules to the holiday. Always check your candy, keep your decorations up, and don't blow out your jack-o'-lantern before midnight. This chick has had enough of the holiday, sending her husband inside as she breaks 2 of the rules, wanting to just be done with the day. As she takes down her decorations, she gets jumped by an unknown figure under a sheet, slashing her throat with a broken lollipop. Sometime later, her husband appears, finding her body mangled and on display with the rest of the decorations. We then cut to earlier in the night, following a few other groups of people as they learn to respect the Halloween rules. Every segment in this plays very much like the one in the opening. Some asshole breaks the rules of Halloween and gets dunked on. Or perhaps they just encounter a ghoul they didn't plan to cross paths with and get attacked. It sounds like it should be really standard, but it's honestly not. It has so much fun with this concept, going all out vibing with the holiday. And while I acknowledge it's not flawless, it's just so entertaining. It bleeds the energy that gets you sucked into the holiday. You can smell the fresh autumn air, taste the sweet treats, and shudder in fear from the spooks. And the way these stories intertwine does create such a satisfying outcome and an ending that makes you smile with sick glee. Now let's break down each of these stories. I'll be trying to keep them a little more separate than the film actually presents, since otherwise we'd be jumping back and forth so much that my words would start to fumble. As if they haven't already, don't worry about it. If you want to skip these summaries, head to this time. You ready? 3, 2, 1, boo! The kid from that bad Santa movie named Charlie is running up and down the streets, knocking over pumpkins and stealing candy. He gets caught by the school principal, Stephen Wilkins, and he forces the kid to sit down to talk. He gives him some candy as he tells him what he's doing is wrong, stopping when Charlie begins to gag. Mr. Wilkins smiles, reminding him to always check his candy. Charlie vomits up a gallon of sludge, passing out as Mr. Wilkins drags him out to his backyard. Some kids knock on his door and think his bloody clothes are just a costume, him giving them candy as well as a piece to a mysterious figure in some cute little pajamas. His name is Sam, by the way, and you'd be best to remember him. In the backyard, he struggles to bury the body next to another one as his son, Billy, starts screaming at him from the window about wanting help carving a jack-o'-lantern. He also gets yelled at by his asshole neighbor, Mr. Krieg, and this whole scene is just a goddamn riot as Mr. Wilkins does his best to play it cool.
Go watch Charlie Brown, and I'll be in a minute.
Charlie Brown's an asshole.
Billy.
He goes inside to help his son. That was weird, I'm sure he's fine. And he's clearly full of resentment for the kid. He comes up behind him with a knife, plunging it into flesh. As he pulls back the knife, Billy's unharmed. He gleefully looks up at his dad, asking him to help him with carving the eyes. We get the sick-ass reveal of Charlie's severed head, father and son bonding over the kill. The next story is my personal favorite. We follow these kids, Macy, Schrader, this one I forgot her name, and Chip. They're all heading out to collect jack-o'-lanterns for a project of some sort. Realizing their hunt isn't going well, they go visit the local weird girl, Rhonda. She's carved dozens of pumpkins for herself, gladly offering to help them and taking an interest in Schrader. The rest of the group seem to not like her, not indulging in her hyperfixation of the holiday and treating her like shit, even calling her slurs behind her back. Assholes. Anyway, they head to the quarry with their pumpkins, Macy telling the story of why they're there. Basically, years ago on Halloween, a school bus full of special needs kids were heading home from school like normal. However, the parents of these kids were tired of dealing with them, and they approached the bus driver and asked him to do them a favor. He drove them to the quarry, revealing them all chained up in their seats. One of the kids notices the different path, breaking free and running up to the wheel to try to get back home. However, he had the bus in the wrong direction, hurling it off the cliff and into the water below.
Let this be a normal field trip with a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're feeling good.
All the kids had died, but the bus driver survived, having never been heard from again. Macy wants to take the jack-o'-lanterns, one for each kid, and offer it to them to keep their spirits at rest. They take down the janky elevator, Rhonda and Chip having to go down separately due to the limited space. When they get down there, the others are nowhere to be found, distant shrieks being heard. Rhonda tells Chip to stay in the elevator with the last remaining jack-o'-lantern, telling him that the light will protect him. She goes out into the darkness, screaming when she sees zombie figures emerge from the water. Racing back to the elevator, she sees Chip getting his guts nommed on, and in her panic, she drops her glasses and falls down a small drop, hitting her head and passing out. When she comes to, she punches one of the figures over her, shocked when they take off their masks to reveal it's just the other kids playing a prank on her. Chip's guts were just hot dogs, for fuck's sake. Schrader tries to comfort her, that dick, and tells the others to pack it up. When they head back to the water, they see the school bus, Macy admitting that part of the story was real. Things get even more real when figures appeared from the water again, attacking the kids and dragging the unnamed girl by her chains and tearing her apart. When the three pranksters make their way back to the elevator, Rhonda has locked herself inside with the last jack-o'-lantern. They beg for her to let them in, the Savage Queen ignoring them and taking the ride up, waving goodbye. We hear their gruesome deaths in the background as Rhonda walks away, seeing Sam in the distance, who lets her continue on. The next story has to deal with these flashy girls. I don't remember their names and it's not really important, so I'll just call them by their costumes, okay? Cindy here is trying to get her little sister, Lori, I did actually remember that name, to find a date to their Halloween party that night, giving her shit for still being a virgin at 22. Bo Peep and Snow White quickly find their dates by mindlessly flirting with random bozos, Cindy reluctantly leaving her sister behind in the middle of town to find a guy to bring with her to the party. Meanwhile, this couple is making out in a back alley, things changing when the woman finds blood pooling down her neck. The man shows off his sharp fangs, chasing her back to the town square. She begs for help from this robot lady. Hey, I remember her, but she thinks the woman is just dressed in fake blood like everyone else. The vampire catches up to her, having his fill and setting her body down next to some passed out drunk weirdos before vanishing back into the crowd. Lori is having little luck with finding someone, Cindy giving her a call and saying that there's a nice dude at the party who wants to meet her. It's shown that this is a dude in a baby costume, Lori relenting and deciding she'll take what she can get at this point, and she starts heading to the party. While on the walk there, she feels like she's being followed. The vampire catches up to her, pinning her up against a tree and taunting her before biting on her neck. At the party, one of the girls screams as Lori's cloak falls from the trees with a thud. They go inspect the body, finding the vampire wrapped up inside with a broken leg. He cries out in fear as Lori appears, looking more like her sisters now. She admits that this is her date, finally ready for her first time. Snow White over here inspects the vampire, finding his teeth aren't even real. She removes his mask, revealing it's none other than Stephen Wilkins, the principal from earlier. He fearfully asks what's going on, shocked to see dozens of dead bodies littered around him. The girls start to dance to an actual badass cover of Sweet Dreams, removing their clothes and becoming monstrous in form. Turns out, these girls are werewolves, and Lori is finally ready to get her first kill, munching down on Mr. Wilkins to her sister's delight, all while Sam watches from the side. The final story involves Mr. Krieg, the neighbor to the guy who just got killed by the werewolves. He hates Halloween, not decorating his home and scaring off trick-or-treaters with his dog. He burns some photos he had lying around and grumbles about nothing good being on TV while munching on stolen candy, going outside when his dog starts barking. We get the other side of that scene from earlier, Mr. Krieg yelling at Mr. Wilkins for all the noise he's making. You know, before he would end up carving up a child's face and getting eaten by werewolves. Going back to his front door, he's shocked to see it covered in Halloween decorations, deciding to grab his gun to deal with the pranksters. He sees a figure run around upstairs, followed sadly by the sound of his dog crying out in pain. God damn it. Mr. Krieg enters the bedroom, seeing words written on the walls in his dog's blood, as well as little Sam, who attacks the man with a razor blade and a candy bar. He runs away and falls down the stairs onto a pile of broken glass, ow, and he isn't able to unlock the door with his torn up hands in time before Sam gets the drop on him. They fight for a while, him trying in vain to call out to Mr. Wilkins from his window before getting attacked again, once again showing us the other side of what happened earlier. He manages to tear the mask off Sam, giving us a nasty face reveal. With that, Mr. Krieg shoots the thing, showing his innards are that of a pumpkin. With the threat neutralized, Mr. Krieg double taps and tries calling the police, the call interrupted as Sam's hand ripped the wire. He pulls himself back together, donning his mask once again and biting off half his lollipop, approaching the man. Mr. Krieg is only able to weakly grab the razor blade candy, not able to stop Sam from plunging his weapon down. Instead of hitting him, Sam only stabbed the candy, taking it with him and showing himself out. We see from one of the burning photos that Mr. Krieg was the bus driver from the earlier story. A bit later, Mr. Krieg is all bandaged up, reluctantly giving out candy to trick-or-treaters. He hears another knock at the door, going out to see all the zombie kids from the quarry, dropping the movie title before killing the old man via flashy comic book panels. Long as hell recap, but needed for a film like this. It's the last one, leave me alone. What a damn ride. Each of these stories is so fun and has something that just really makes the holiday special. You gotta respect the rules after all, and I like how brutal this one can be. Anyone in any age group is at risk, and when you treat others like shit, you get punished for it. Unless you're one of those guys who got roped in with the girls, then you're just They just kind of f***ed. The scares in this still hit, the comedy's also hilarious, and the kills wonderfully explosive. This is for real my kind of movie, my kind of story, my kind of celebration of my favorite holiday, and all of it's wrapped up in this little package of Sam. God, I love this little shit. He's the perfect icon of the holiday, always present, always watching. I really wish this film was even more popular than it is, because I'm dying to see more people get into watch parties of this on the holiday. I know I personally tend to watch Hocus Pocus on the 31st every year, but I'm more than happy to add this to the lineup for some R-rated spooks and ghouls on my favorite day of the year. It's got problems, but in the spirit of Halloween, and the Scare-A-Thon as a whole, and Little Sam, I'll bestow this with the coveted 5 out of 5-star rating. Fuck it, we ball. Thank you so much for attending this year's Scare-A-Thon. I want to give a quick shout out to some of my friends who made this all possible. First, to those who cameoed in my videos, being Ken, Cece, and Wild. And also a big thanks to Nat and Adam for recording my real-time reactions to Lights Out, and everyone else on my Discord server who popped in to watch these with me. That being Moshi, Jason, Sarah, and maybe a few others a little bit. Shout out to Soupy for recommending Halloween Town, and of course a huge shout out to Mike for all of his film recommendations. Bro gets an average score of B- for these, but I still had fun nonetheless. And a side thank you to my friend Hero for keeping me sane and supplementing my horror binging and editing with healthy doses of Roblox games and Stranger Things. So yeah, if the series does well enough, I'll be sure to do this again next year. But for now, I am tired as hell, and the holiday has only just begun. Happy Halloween, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a fun comment. I'll try to respond to as many as I can. With all that said and done, I'll see you in the next one, and actually I might just take a nap now. I'm so fucking exhausted. Good night.
Snowy? Snowy. Snowy. Stranger Things. Stranger Things felt snowy.